4 fastest and cheapest Madden 20 Ultimate Team coins. Make sure you guys go check out my sponsor, EasyMut.com. Use code VENM at checkout for 5% off. Yo, what's up, everybody? It's Fire here, back in the video, and today I'm going to be showing you guys a run scheme that I use to dominate my opponents. Now, this run scheme is going to come to us out of the strong close formation. It's one of the most balanced and underrated formations in the game this year. It has a ton of one-play touchdowns, and it also has some great running plays to mix in as well. Now, today I'm going to be going over the run plays more. We might have another video where I go over every one-play touchdown, but there's going to be a ton of different plays in this formation. I can't cover it all in one video, but with that being said, the plays I'm going to be going over: halfback zone, halfback dive, and then this off tackle. Honorable mentions: there is a quick toss, but tosses are super bad this year and pretty much every year. They're just terrible. The blocking is awful, so I don't recommend using that, but these other runs are definitely going to be solid. Let's go ahead, start out with this halfback zone. Now, I'm going to come out in a classic 3-4 odd run defense. Now, right off the bat, what I like to do is I just go ahead, come out here, and I'm usually trying to get in between this hole that you guys seen. And we're actually going to go ahead, take this all the way to the house on the first run. Yes, we are. So you guys see this halfback zone. A lot of times people don't like running slow sort of halfback zones because they seem to get tackled in the backfield sometimes. But this one, something is different about it. I just seem to get better blocks, and I actually pick up huge gains running this ball just out of this classic halfback zone. I'm not sure what it is about it, but I just seem to pick up huge gains. As you guys see, I'm just picking up huge chunks of yardage running this halfback zone. No motion. If you wanted to get a little bit glitchier, you could go ahead, motion Samuel over to this left-hand side, snap the ball. Basically, it's just going to give you an extra blocker. When that happens, the middle of the field is usually a little bit more open. So that's what I do. But this halfback zone is very underrated, and it's just super glitchy. You just go ahead and motion him over again here. He actually whiffed his block there on a linebacker, but we would have the potential to take this to the house. This is going to be a big risk reward type of a play, just because you might pick up 20 yards or you could get blown up in the backfield. Here you see, again, I have a lot of potential. Unfortunately, Mostert here can't really spin or juke, so we're just kind of stuck running past people. You could just go ahead, sort of do that weird motion you see me do. There's a lot of things you can do to sort of throw off your opponent out of this, but the best way that I do it is just snapping the ball regularly. A lot of times people are going to play the run to the right side just because they see your tight end and your fullback over there, and they typically don't expect just this run over here. Now, when you're running this halfback zone, the fullback's going to run from right to left anyway, and he's still going to be able to lead block. So you guys see his play art right there. He's running right to left. If you have a good fullback, or if you put a tight end there, then they can definitely put in work out of this formation. I know a lot of people like to put 2 running backs there for those pass plays, so you could definitely do that as well. But overall, this halfback zone is going to pick up tons of yardage. You guys see I picked up huge chunks right there. Now it's going to take us to our next play. I'm going to hop into the halfback dive. Now, halfback dive, it's super good for these short situations where you can just pick up tons of yardage. You guys see up the middle, look at that hole. A lot of times people always have like stretch defense, they have outside defense. They don't want you to get outside the numbers, which is why sometimes it's so easy to ground and pound them right up the gut. Now, you have to be careful of any of those guys coming off the edge. You guys saw Montez Sweat actually did come off the edge there, but he might not do that every time, as you see. So you have to be careful of a couple of things. You can obviously use motion to do whatever he's doing to stop it, or counter whatever he's doing, but this halfback dive, we actually get caught there. I'm not sure why Sweat's actually playing the run so well. It's kind of surprising, but something I like to do is motion over this running back, as I am in the wrong play again. So I guess we're just going to run the ball, but out of this halfback dive, I actually like motioning to the opposite side, and then I feel like I have a great chance to get outside. I might even ID this guy, see if we can make sure that he's blocked, snap the ball. There he is, and you guys see the middle. seems to open up a little bit more, just like in real life football. Whenever players motion, it definitely does throw off the defense. Same thing in Madden. When players are motioning, the blocking schemes tend to be way better. You guys see this run is a walking 5+ yards, and even though I'm not popping these off for a touchdown, you could easily go ahead and pick up a ton of yardage. You guys see all I need is Samuel to hold that one block. If you want to get super glitchy out of this formation, you could obviously go ahead and put tight ends at wide receiver, and basically the only time I'm getting blown up is when Sweat's coming off the edge. So if he continues to do that, just motion over, then he's going to go ahead, get picked up, and you guys see the middle of the field is just going to be wide open. So what you really want to do with these run plays, just see wherever your opponent's killing you. Like I've noticed that Montez Sweat seems to jump off the screen whenever I do that motion. Joe Staley, our left tackle, does pick up the block. So it's just picking up on tendencies like that out of the formation that will give you a lot of success. I'll show you guys one last time here. Just going to motion. He does blow it up again. So overall, against this 3-4 odd, I guess it would be the move to go ahead, motion Samuel all the way across the formation, although that is not the case with some of the run defenses. It's just, I guess, this particular one that I'm running, but that's going to go ahead, take us to our last run play of the video. It's going to be this off tackle. Now, off tackle is very similar to a stretch. You guys see, this is definitely by far the best play out of the formation. It has so much big play potential, and it is very difficult to stop. You can go ahead, blow it up in the backfield, but since it's not a stretch and you're not running all the way outside, the run defense seems to be a little bit different. I've played against this, and the run defense definitely is different when you're playing for a stretch versus an off tackle. Because of the stretch, you have those linebackers getting super out wide, but for this run, you could easily cut it inside the tackles. As you guys see, I'm sort of doing right now, cutting in between that little gap between the receiver and the tight end, rather than just running completely outside. And that is what makes defending this play so difficult. You have all these blockers over here. That was some terrible stick by me to not cut it inside, but this is a walking one-play touchdown. Occasionally, he will blow it up in the backfield, but more times than not, you should be able to go ahead, get that edge. And you guys see, once I get past that first level of the D linemen and linebackers, I am off for another 20 to 30 yards running this play. You can even try to throw off your opponent, maybe do some motion Samuel inside. And you guys see, I'm still able to get to the edge, but you really want to disguise these runs. So if you run halfback zone a couple of times, running this to the left, you could go ahead, motion Samuel all the way over, and you could still run this off tackle to the right. You guys see, I still get pretty much the same exact blocks, and that was one last blocker on the right hand side. So definitely do want to mix things up with the blockers. You can go ahead, motion juice check over, get him sort of on that motion block. That time we got that was some bad stick and some bad blocking, but you can't expect to get good runs every time. You can go ahead, motion Samuel out if you want. You can do a lot of different things out of this formation, but you guys see, pretty much every time I'm going ahead and able to get to that opposite side of the field, basically just running it stock, I've found is probably the best way to run it. But you could obviously do those motions if you're playing an advanced player and he's picking up on tendencies, sending cornerbacks on blitz or something. But the reason that the strong close running formation is so good is because of how dominant is a passing formation as well. I mentioned that earlier in the video. It is super difficult to defend the pass and the run when it is so balanced. And I'm actually going to show you guys a quick dot that I like to run out of this formation. It's going to be out of this PA deep cross. What you're going to go ahead and do, just motion this player all the way over. And what I like to do is just put RB on a slant, and then you have B on a streak. And actually, I like B on a slant, RB on the streak. Something like this, and then you could put A on a delay fade. Something like this is super dominant. I know we have juice check, so he's not the best player, but go ahead and obviously put someone faster there in Ultimate Team. You can put a running back there, and they will be fine for these passes. Again, it's a little setup real quick. Be on a slant. You could go ahead, snap it like this. You don't have to motion them out, but I've found that the crosser does get a little bit more open when you have that route on your field, but you could definitely block 8 in our case. We get screamed at somehow when we are blocking 8, but you guys see It's just a little way, sort of a PAY shot if you're a split close player, very similar to that. So another setup I like to run is just putting a Y on a wheel route, and then we also have A on a streak, something like this. You really just want to mix things up. Y is wide open. You could easily hit him on this wheel route. So that's just a little baby dot. Not going to go into depth on the passes. That might be saved for another video, but this has been our basic running scheme. Super great running scheme. You guys have seen I've been popping off huge runs this entire video, but that's pretty much going to go ahead and do it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you leave a like on the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well for some more Fire Madden 20 content in the future. Make sure you guys follow me on Twitter for updates on uploads and other things going on in the Madden community. And peace. I'm out of here.